Welcome to the birthday celebration of the Indian Center here in Manhattan. My name is Elena Zelenina. I'm an artist and an author, and I am the membership chair of the very first Women Associate Artists of the United States, NAWA. And here I am presenting one of my pieces. It's called Removing Obstacles, but mostly I am here to talk about the incredible impact that Indian culture created in my life. And I think that what the Indian Center is doing is amazing, and I want to support it with my art and with whatever speaking abilities I have. So I come from a family of artists. I have two artists in my family. I'm from Russia originally, so they were professional Russian artists, Michael Birukov, Nikolai Gladkih. And I grew up in the studio, but became an artist here in New York. Started my career as an artist here in New York, although most of my life I was an educator, teacher, and art advocate. And my story was with the art probably a little unusual because my little daughter, Alice, and thank you for being here, was diagnosed with a learning disability. And it was pretty severe, so she was young, and I figured I have to figure out what to do. And I started my search. And search included a lot of yoga and meditation and different approach to life. And long story short, we, both of us, ended in India. And there, that trip probably changed not only her beautiful destiny, because all disabilities disappeared and she became a 4.0 student and a writer and a singer, and just probably a potential CEO. But my career as an artist completely changed because because there in the Himalayan mountains, I did the first trip there, doing the yatra. Something opened up. I started seeing colors differently. I remember it was after one meditation, I opened my eyes and the green was so vibrant. I've never seen green like that in my life. And with everything, with perception of depth, with ability to understand what life is about, cognitions we have about life, how to become life positive, which is probably we all need. That all happened there. And art changed, and the method was evolved, that I help now others to become artists, because we all have that capacity. So that journey started, it literally never ends. And having the center like that in Manhattan, where you can connect to this absolutely incredible tradition, nothing can compare. We shouldn't compare cultures, but literally nothing can compare to the depth of that culture that transforms lives. So Ganesha, and how this painting arrived here about a year ago, Veena, the mother of the Indian Center, saw it and reached out to me and said, well, you have that painting, it's called Removing Obstacles, what it is about. And we had a conversation, what is that energy for me, what I was able to understand with this energy. And that energy for me is the energy of never being stopped. It's whatever obstacles come up, they just become challenges and exciting puzzles. And that energy probably is the one that I love since I was a little girl. It's always little elephants, and I was like, oh, and I was born in Russia, Moscow, so no elephants there except in the zoo. But that longing for like, there's something about that. And then finally, I've been to India 11 times. I would not be able to explain at which trip particular it happened, but the feeling that unseen is alive, as real as whatever we see. The same way we see each other, the same way all these deities and gods are around us, constantly helping us to become a little more aware that we are gods, we are sources. Yes, not always we act like ones clearly, but doesn't mean that that God particle, that potential is not there. And this energy helps achieve and become unstoppable. And Ganesha is unstoppable. And maybe the concept of being integrated to that vision of ours, he can help carry it on when we as humans go a little shorter on our will, persistence, and stamina. On the piece itself, I did it in 2018. It's on paper, and one of the principles that I discovered how to open up the creativity, it's the line exercise and principle. Everything is a line, and once you understand that and you allow it to go through, it creates. So when I was actively practicing, I don't know how many pieces I did with that concept, in one of them, he was so clearly present that I just stopped and allowed him to come through completely. And for the line, I was using colored pencils. And I thought, well, I'm not going to switch, because actually painting with different media is much faster. Doing something with colored pencil requires a lot of patience, and it's a lot of character training right there. Mm-hmm. But because it started like that, I didn't want to switch. So I wanted to just add maybe a little bit of metallic lines, but that's it. And so it keeps coming through stronger and stronger, so it was all finished maybe within a couple of months. With that, as an artist, I sometimes have to paint something for someone, commissioned work, right? So you think through, you put it on canvas, you do your sketch, you paint. It's very relaxed way of existence with a brush, because you know what you are doing, you know where you are arriving, everything is clear. With this kind of work, it's so much energy, it's like literally the whole body vibrates, and it's always you are dealing with unknown, because you don't know what the next idea will come. You just have to catch it and implement. So there's no gap, like, oh, I have to go think through, will this work with this? Well, it just doesn't work like that. It's gushes through your whole body. So for this type of work, line work, the most important thing is the ability to hear. Is the ability to hear the unknown and allow it to come without judging it too much, without saying this works, that doesn't work. It just has to flow through, and you have to trust that the intelligence of the unknown is going to figure out the painting. So it's constant trust check. Are you trusting yourself enough? Let go. Let go. Let's see what happens. Let's just be playful. Let the line do the job. And with other types is you like an usual matrix. You plan, you execute, you write down. So when I need to, I was discussing how do I use art. I use it in two different things. If too many creative projects and I'm involved in writing and storytelling, whatever, and I need to slow down, I will do a still life with flowers. And the second I start painting it, because it's all very clear what to do, I relax and I just follow it, so there's no time. But when I do that, there is also no time. But if I do that at night, I won't be able to sleep, because it's so much energy. I experimented. If I stay in this for 24 hours, there will be no sleep. And I'm not tired. It's just like, oh, it goes and goes and goes, and you can go from one piece to another piece. That's the gift that I received from that country, from that incredible tradition. And for everyone, regardless of our background, ethnic, cultural, everyone can just soak in that knowledge and opportunities for knowledge. So that was my talk. Any questions? Thank you. Yes?
You know, what you said reminds me of Wilma af Klimt, the Scandinavian artist who described spirit possession and so forth, where she didn't do the art herself or create the composition. She was the conduit and the vehicle. Did you see her show?
Yes, thank you. This is such a brilliant question. When this show came up in New York, and my friends and I went, has anyone went to Guggenheim? Have you seen the Wilma af Klimt? No. Anyone? You have to look at her work. It's mind-blowing, to say the least. But the truth was, we felt, I'm not the only one like that. I'm super cool, but not the only one. We felt like we found our artistic roots. That's how I felt when I saw her channelings and her ideas, and exactly that. Exactly, you are so right. You are so right. 19th century was, I apologize, full of new ideas trying to reach the West through all different people, and she was the artist one.
There was a film that very recently shown there's been a feature film made of her life.
Oh, I have to watch it. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it was at the New Plaza Cinema, you know, the old one that it's now housed in the Upper West Side in college there.
Mhm.
I saw it last month. You might enjoy it.
I definitely am going. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for your wonderful talk and being so revealing and authentic.
Thank you.
So I have a little question.
Yes.
So, in other words, before you start the painting, you channel the energy?
Depends on what.
Or do you do like Abraham Hicks and channel a spiritual guide and follow their direction and follow what they say and just let them do their thing? Is that what you do? Or something like that?
Mm-hmm. Close, and she is awesome. The difference would be that I am deeply rooted in Hinduism.
Okay, all right.
I'm deeply rooted in Paramashiva.
Okay.
So I would be, when I channel, it would be his teachings,
Okay, all right. All right.
his perception. But in that realm, we all need information, and
Right.
because we're so
Right.
unique,
Right.
whoever appeals to us at a certain time, because I've went through spiritual paths. I've been Christianity, esoteric tradition, Buddhism, and they all are part of me. But when I discovered that tradition and the knowledge behind everything what I had unanswered, my puzzle is just like, I'm like, oh, wow, that's what it was about. So the search for guides and channels, I accept them, I know they're always with me, but the search went into this, to the depth of that, because in my world, Paramashiva has all of it, so I don't need to, it's just, if I need to, it will come. I manifested multiple times this, what right now I understand, some people call it superpowers, you can call it very strong intuition, whatever you want to call it, it doesn't change the thing. But I had no idea that it was that.
Yeah. Wow.
It's just at that moment, that's what I experienced, and without proper context, the accidental success like that creates self-doubt. It creates so much self-doubt. So it's not even very beneficial. If you have right context, then this experience will take you to the next level. But if surroundings are not explaining to you, then... So later I understood a lot more than what I was able to comprehend when I was little, for sure.
Yeah.
You had something like that, because I get it. Yeah. Yeah, you should paint.
Yeah,
It's just, I'm just saying.
Growing up in a
You should paint.
very religious Jewish Orthodox family, everything was squashed. Oh, you can't.
Restriction.
Yeah,
very, very,
well,
very-
sometimes this, can you imagine Russia, how tight everything is, so tight? It's necessary, because the tighter it gets, the more you open up, because your resistance is you are God anyway. So if it's a little bit like uncomfortable, you might be okay with it. But if it's a big time uncomfortable, you're gonna rebel and you're gonna come out of your shell. And then at the end of the day, was it bad? Because it depends on the result. If you came out that insane, awesome human being, thanks for the oppression. I am blessing my Russian childhood and everything from that, because without that, I won't be able to understand as deep as I understand now.
Wow, that's cool. Okay.
So they did their job.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. Yes.
I know that you mentioned that this was sort of a stream of consciousness, that you almost felt possession as you were doing.
I don't feel I am possessed, it's not right, because it's that God particle in us doesn't possess anything. It's the same thing, it just opens up.
Okay. I was just curious if there were parts of your painting that either during the painting itself or during the reflection on it really speak to you specifically, and that you could point out about.
To this one?
Yeah.
Well, for example, here, if you look at it, it's not fully clear form and too many, and we talked about it, and a lot of colors and all. And the idea that was, that I understood, I don't know if it was, what I understood was that that energy, that unstoppable, supporting, inspiring energy is always here. It's sometimes clearly seen, sometimes it's hidden behind the gems. Sometimes it's almost like in a Matrix movie, you see parts of it, but it's there. The presence, no matter what, is there, and it's glorious. We can see, depending how much, if we healed a lot of our self-denial, then we can see more magnificent things. If it's a little healed less at this point, then it will be more muted, not as glorious, but it will still shine through. Does it make sense?
Yes.
It's hard to explain that, right? So that's why, yeah.
Anyone else? Any questions?
That's it. Let's see how we all are smiling right now, right? Because that's the true spirituality is about that. When you are somewhere or with someone and you just got a little more relaxed, a little more smile, a little less tension, that's good. That's the Lakmus Pay indicator. It's an indicator.
Tranquility.
Tranquility, yes. But for making stuff, making art, or making Indian center more present, you need intense action. Inspiration and intense action. We need to get together, we need to paint, we need to talk. Without that, we all are tranquil and nothing is happening. So, combination. Good, active, good people is what we need. I am a teacher, I can talk forever. I'll also have this in mind.
And you know how to keep people quiet.
Not always, but no. But I feel you enjoy it, so it's. I'm so happy. I'm so happy you came.
Thank you, Elena.